Well, if you are back in the house, fantastic. If not, I'll say what's up to whoever comes back. Okay, so I may end up having to do another time slot for my shows. Like I told you, like I mentioned before, the I used to work overnight and try to run the business during the day. I had someone working for me that was able to manage some of the day to days, and then I decided, okay, this overnight thing is just killing me. So now I'm back. So now people are now starting to realize that I'm I'm open during the day, you know. So it's becoming now is starting to interfere with the show. So I may end up having to do the time slot for the show in the evening or something like that because it's going to be inconvenient to keep being interrupted while I'm trying to show people how to take things apart and how to fix stuff. So that's what it's looking like, and it may start as soon as next week. I was able to get away with it for a couple, but now it's starting to kind of get in the way. So, but anyway, let me continue doing this. This is part two. I got as far as just, you know, taking this off, taking everything else. I did mention a few things about the bag, about the Kirby bag. Mentioned that you can wash the bag by taking up, I just want this a quick recap. You can wash the bag by taking the Kirby bag apart. Okay. I mentioned that I've seen people put in, tablets in the bag like these, or spray, or dryer sheets, anything to kind of give that fragrance. I've seen that, but nothing beats an actual clean bag. Oh my gosh, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Look at this. This stuff is falling out all over the place. Nothing beats a clean bag. Okay, nothing beats that. So this is the best thing to do. Take the bag apart and wash it and put it back. All right. Okay, next up. I know people have things to do, and we had the whole crew here earlier, and it was just one of those things, and I didn't want them to be waiting any longer, and I didn't want the people to be into what we're doing here. So it just became a thing. I had to shut the feed and start over again. All right, so let me. I'm breaking down this Kirby all the way down to the bone, and really, I'm doing this. If anyone is ever interested in their own machine that they want to take care of, if there's something that they don't want to have to take it into a shop for, or even to know how bad is it, like how far can I go where I'm comfortable. Watching this can kind of let you know how far you may want to go with messing with your own machine and how comfortable are you with it. Okay, so not much to say. Let me get right into it. Okay, so this is kind of what it looked like before we took it off, right? Okay. All right, so we had it, you know your Kirby to be like this, right? Okay, and like to be like this, right? Okay, my gloves. So take your screws out the left, take your screws out the back, right? That's out the way. Take these two screws out, take these screws out, and then just like that, it comes right up. Okay, nothing complicated about this. Next, let's say you are having a problem with your transmission in the back. All right, you probably don't have to go too much into the section here. You may just want to focus here. So this is what you would do. Get a flathead screwdriver, pop it, take this right off. Okay, now before I go any further, sometimes this is an issue. If people are having a trouble back here, sometimes this piece here is broken. Okay, and so when you're trying to step on this, it kind of gets stuck like this, and you're kind of wondering like, whoa, what's happening, right? So it's sometimes this is the problem. All right. Okay. Next. So now that you took this out, what you're going to do is you're going to flip the Kirby around, and we're going to take 3 screws out the bottom. Okay. That's holding the transmission in. Okay. We're going to use a T20 torque screw. what I'm grateful for is that they didn't use security screws on it. Now, we are going to take this out because this is broken, but not now. Okay, we're going to wait. All right. Okay. Flip. Now, this is what you may find. If this part is broken already, okay, it might be stuck in drive. Hey, Bree, you're back. Hey, what's up? Man, Bree, are you feeling a little bit under the weather today, Brian? Thanks for coming back, Brian. I just didn't want the complication with the people and back, and there was like some other people outside. It might look, we still might get another interruption. So if I do, Brianna, I'm really thinking of probably taking these shows to the evening. So just bear with me, okay? All right. Now, if this is broken in the back, you may find that if it's in drive, neutral and drive, if it's in drive, part of the selector is going to be like this. So it's going to prevent it from dropping. So you're going to have to kind of go in there and move the selector back, pull the selector back this way, so you can have a clearing so it can drop. I'm hoping that I can give a better visual. So let me drop it and maybe I can explain it and you can get a better visual of what I'm saying, okay? So let's drop the transmission. Now, when you drop it, the belt is still on, so you can just kind of remove the belt and let it come out, okay? Hello.
Hey, Wayne, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Give me.
You had my Bissell.
Yeah. Yes. Man, after a little toil, figured it out.
What was it? The motor in
Figured it
there?
out. No, we ended up having to give you a brand spanking new brush.
Oh, really?
I had to go and order one from there. Now, here's the funny thing about it is that what they ended up doing, they were selling the brushes about an inch smaller.
Oh.
So I went through 2 brushes before I said, guys, why are you sending me the wrong one? So I finally figured it out. But let me plug it in real quick for you.
Okay.
All right. And but yeah, my instinct went right there. So I'm looking over.
Because I took the brush out and everything. I was like,
Yeah.
"Well, I can't figure
It
this out."
turns out that was
the issue.
it was just time.
Yeah.
Time and just like relentless pursuit. Like, no, I'm not calling him and telling him that this is not good. No, I got to find the answer.
I'm glad you did, because I was like, man, I don't know.
But yeah, there we go. Rock and roll now. Bam. Okay?
Interesting.
Now, here's the thing. You have to be careful with these machines, right? Carpet fibers. Do you have any pets? 3. Okay. 4. Okay. Pet here.
Yeah.
If they get to the corners of the brush, like all the way
Right.
to the end, and the brush is spinning 3,000 RPMs type of thing, is going to start to melt out the plastic.
Okay.
So it's not just getting here clean.
Right.
It's make sure you get these guys clean. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Right? Sometimes you just have to take it out.
Yeah.
Just brush off the corners.
Okay.
And pop it back in. All right.
Okay.
Okay, but that's it. That's good prevention. Keep you out of the shop.
Keep
Not that I don't want to see you, man. Not that I don't want to see you, man. It's just,
right.
You know, I'm not gonna push business away, but I'm also not gonna be the sleazy guy that's gonna like
Right.
not tell you.
I hear you.
But let me see. Let's take this here. Okay. All right. Let me pull up. Did I take it off already?
You took
No,
this
the
one.
other. Okay, all right. Good. Make sure I get everything right.
Yeah, you took that one off.
Okay. Pull this up here. Come on, play nice.
Never.
Okay.
Never do.
Okay. Let's see. There we go. And then. Neck. Okay. right? Okay, you're all set. And it's still less than we.
Yeah.
Which is good. Okay?
That works out well.
All right, you take care, man. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, no worries. No
Yes,
worries.
sir. Any hiccups, you come back to me, of course.
I will. Throw your receipt back.
Yeah, hit print. Oh, you know what they did? They emailed it.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, is that the email you verify?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Should be right.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks
all
a
right?
lot. Appreciate
Yes, sir.
you, Wayne.
No problem.
Now I'll have to go home back.
Yeah, well, yeah, you gotta give yourself some work to do, right?
Right.
Okay, guys. All right, so now let's keep moving. Let me explain what that drop thing I was telling you about. Okay, Brianne, Edward, what's up, man? A $6,000 vacuum. Yeah, is that Kirby? Kirby's a $6,000 vacuum. It feels like that for some people. In California, it might be $6,000. I remember when we were selling Kirby's for $2,000, and they were already selling them for like $30-something hundred, and that was years ago. California Kirby's were expensive. I don't know what the cost of living is like down there for things to be that expensive in California, man. But it was just out of control, you know. Monroe Vacs, this is when I'm gonna help you. Yes, I'm here. Today, 5. Okay, awesome. Oh, okay. Wow, wait, time out. This, wait a second. This is, let me verify. Is this Trudy? Wow. Okay, great. Oh, okay. Well, Trudy, I'll be happy to see you later on today. I'll see you later then. All right. You're welcome. All right. So now, what would prevent this from dropping? That's what I was trying to tell you guys. So if anyone is messing with these machines, when it's in drive, let me see. One of these selectors, golly, one of these things are going to be hanging like, it's probably not this one because I think this. Let me see. Yeah. This is going to be probably hanging like this, something like that, right? And then the Kirby has a lip right here in the back. Has a lip right here. Okay, so it might just be sticking out from the edge of this, and then it will prevent it. So that's when I said you have to go in and kind of move it back so you can drop the transmission. All right, let me get that out of my head. So I already explained that. I don't have to worry about it no more. I swear, sometimes explaining things just tongue tie you. Like you're trying to simplify it, and it's just like, okay. So, all right, I'm not going to open up the transmission. It's not necessary, but they have been cases when I've worked on these because there is a belt inside. There's some people don't know. There's a belt inside. You see these 3 things here? These are 3 gears, and there's actually a belt that holds these things together. And I've had now you probably would have to get some specialty company to get you a belt if you really want to go that far and do that. But I haven't seen any Kirby haven't sold any belts for these. You just have to end up just buying a transmission or get one used or whatever. But before I opened that, I never knew that the transmission has a belt of its own. It has this, of course, on the outside that connects the motor to this gear, and then there are belts on the inside that move the gears. So that was an eye opener for me. Okay, all right. Let me see. Where we have one. I was a kid, but I had no idea. The fact that my parents still have the same one that they bought when I was first grade says a lot. Yeah, like the lady just earlier, she bought in an Electrolux. She's had for 30 years. Okay. I swear, man, I don't know if there's going to be products that will be functioning properly, that we buy today, that's going to last 30, 40, 50 years, like a lot of these vacuums. The lady bought in a vacuum, a Rainbow from 1949. Okay, so who knows? All right, next up, what am I taking apart next on this Kirby? I'm keeping my keeping the flow going. All right, so I'm gonna take off this. This is just folks that just want to venture out and want to challenge themselves and see if they can fix a Kirby. Let me just mention one more thing. Sometimes you have a Kirby and the handle is naturally going to be a little bit like this. Oh, we spoke about this already. The handle is going to be naturally like this. The reason why is because of this little round circle here. So it's kind of going around, you know, like that. But if you find that the whole thing is like wobbly, right? Then what you can do is take the Kirby thing off, right? And just tighten these screws here. Probably these two in the middle, okay? Because that's what would make this whole thing kind of rocky, wobbly like that. You just got to tighten these two screws, all right? Okay? And again, if anyone has questions on this, if you're just here for curiosity's sake, fantastic. But if you really do have a question, just throw it in the chat. All right. So now I'm gonna lift this up, but keep in mind that there are two lead wires that are connected to the power switch. So we're gonna have to disconnect those. Okay. You don't want to yank them out. So these two right here, 1 and 2, they're connected to this power switch right here. So the first one is up top. I'm just gonna yank that out. Now you can get like what do you call those? What do you call it? You know what I'm talking about. You know the name. Say the name. You know the name. Not tweezer. Needle nose pliers, right? So Brianne, there was a guy earlier today that was on the first chat from earlier today. And he was making a joke, but he said, you're black, right? Because you sound white. And I was like, no, I don't. But I did have a guy way back in the day that came in for an interview. I was doing the recruiting, and he said that's why he had me cracking up, because he reminded me of an old memory of someone showing up for the job, and he saw me, and he was just like, I didn't expect that you on the phone. I was like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. So I told him, I said, dude, I just got caught between accents. I got caught somewhere in the middle of accents, and it wasn't intentional. It was a school. And if you hear my brother speak, he has a very deep Caribbean accent, very deep. He intentionally made sure he didn't lose his accent. I'm in school, dude. I'm focusing on learning and, learning English. So my mind wasn't on that. But he always said that I was too Americanized. I was like, we are American, right? What are you telling me? I mean, you can always, you can always go back. It's not the Roman accents, man. The guy here, he had, I think it was I should have asked him if they were they Russian? Ukraine, maybe? You could tell they had a European accent. Some Russian, Ukraine, something like that. One of those accents. New York, you hear a lot of Italian accents, Spanish accents and Italian accents dominate New York City. And, it's always cool to hear these people just talk, Then the Southern here, obviously I have the Southern accent here. I'm getting used to the Southern accent. And there's even different types of Southern accents. Holy cow. All right, so here we go. I got that with insurance. People seem to expect a kid showing up. Here I am, a grown adult. Yeah, you missed the context, right? You came in right after that. Yeah, it was funny. It was just, and the thing about it, I'm gonna share something with you, right? And if anybody else is out there, someone I know, was asking me about an incident that happened last week, and he wanted me to be offended by something, and I was like, my mind was on something, just like the white thing, because that stuff don't offend me, but some people it does, just like the kid thing. Some people will get offended, but imagine being in such a place where you're insisting that someone be offended by something that they're not offended by, and you think it's a shame that you're not offended by it, because it was weird. If I can read you what he said, something about, oh my God, it was such a weird thing, and I never, it land. I'm driving home from the track, right? And just, you ever had something happen to you early in the day, and you're driving home or whatever, and then it just knock you in the head like, are you kidding me? Are you trying to tell me what I should be offended by? What's the word for that? What's the word? Is there a word for that? Like you're telling me what I should be offended by. Like that's when it dawned on me. I'm like, what are you saying? Right? He's like, it's so sad. That's how he ended the comment. It's so sad that you're not offended by this. So then that's the word, dumbass. So this is what I said. I said, listen, I text him back, right? I said, look, man, I can't go around being offended by every little thing, bro. You know what that's like? You're giving everybody like a permission slip to ruin your day, right? It's like, here you go. You want to offend me? Here. This is what you can say to offend me. Say that, right? This is how you can look at me for me to be offended. Look at me this way. It's like, no, I can't do that, man. I'm not gonna let it. I'm not giving anyone the keys to the kingdom. Are you kidding me? So I said, look, you have my permission. And any one of you guys want to use this. I said, you have my permission to be offended on my behalf, man. Okay? Because I'm not, I don't get stuff like that. But if you want to be, go ahead. You have my permission. You can be offended all day and let it eat you up all day long, if that is what's going to offend you. Monroe Vacs, and this is Wayne. I'm going to help you. Yes, I do. Absolutely. Great. You just did. Just come on in during the business hours. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Anyway, so yeah. There's a lot of folks who are like that, and I don't think they realize they're like that, It's a weird place to live, though, to feel that you have that you have this. Man, I'm searching for the words, man. I am kind of lost for words right now. Like you have the you should be. I know more about your feelings than you do, and you should be offended by this thing. That probably says a lot more about the person, right? That like do you think this is offensive? And do you think this way? Because I don't. So what are you saying? Oh man, it's such a weird place to be. We're in a weird time there, Brian. We're in a weird time, man. And at the same time, there's nothing new under the sun. So I think we're just expressing it different, or we're having what do you call it? A concentrated amount of this feedback that we didn't have before. You know, let's say years ago, Brian, you and I right now, and whoever else pops into our chat, if we were going to communicate, I would probably have to have visited your town and ran into your folks, you and your family, and we're at, I don't know, some event, a fair or something, or whatever, the supermarket, and we're like, hey, you know, and bump into each other. Hey, what's going on? You need help with that? You know, or we're at the dinner and you're eating, you're doing your plate of stuff, and I'm just over there doing my stuff, and we're just like, hey guys, you know, and we'll probably just meet, right? And then let's say the family said, hey man, next time you're in town, come visit, right? And maybe we'll make a phone call, or maybe we'll write a letter or whatever. But now in today's time, we're seeing stuff like what I'm doing now, where I'm shooting a video and people are putting up posts, and we're getting feedback, the way people see things, the way they view things, more than we ever had before. So that's I think the difference. But people, I think, have always been like that. You know, you want to let him talk to you like that? I don't think you should blah 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 blah. You know, that kind of stuff. Monroe Vacuums. This is when I'm gonna help you. If we, I'm sorry, the signal is really bad with the phone right now. But I know you said something about a belt and an auric. Yeah, we could do that. It's all right. It all depends. It can range anywhere from 10 to 25, you know. It depends on which kind of cleaner. Auric's fairly simple, you know, plus the cost of the belt. But Auric's fairly simple. It's not it shouldn't be a major thing, but we've had different Aurics, okay? When you like to come by. Yeah, come on over before 5, okay? You're welcome. Anyway, yeah, girl. I have some interesting. I have one friend who just loves to be on the contrary side of my of the thoughts, and but he likes the conversation, so I entertain it. You know, I entertain the conversations. He wants to stimulate the thinking without people having to cuss each other out. So we'll go back and forth, and we're texting and we're talking about stuff like that. So I enjoy the banter and the talking and all, pondering ideas and concepts and stuff like that. Helps keep you sharp. And sometimes when a person challenges your concept, you may be thinking about things in a way that you never thought was even self-defeating, or maybe prejudicial, or maybe you were overstepping the line or something. There are things that you may think, because if you're in the same kind of cocoon or bubble or whatever, and everyone says the same thing, and people are afraid to say what's really on their mind because they don't want to be ostracized by the other people in the group, then you don't really get what people really feel and think. You just get like slogans, you know? So the reason I trust you, Brienne, you're who else is there? Calvin, dude, what's up, man? I haven't See you in a minute. Because I think that even if you disagree with me, you're not afraid to tell me that, well, I see it this way, right? You want people like that will say, well, I see it, but I have a red dot on mine, right? I add this caveat to it. Or I agree with you here, but I don't agree this. And that's fine. You want that, right? You don't want everyone to be faking like they think the same, because none of us think exactly the same. That would be a boring, weird world. Like we all think the same. We all talk the same. We all move the same. We all eat the same. We all, oh my God. I mean, you wouldn't want that. That's horrible. Calvin, bro. Good afternoon. It's Thursday. I do have a question. Are Kirby's better than Bissell vacuum cleaners? I have a Kirby, had the first Kirby Avalier that was made, and it's a bulky. Yeah. Kirby, honestly, man, look, with respect to my Bissell friends, I'm always going to lean on the side of Kirby for power and effective cleaning. Now, for convenience and weight, then you have to give the props to some of the other cleaners. Some of the other cleaners are convenient, more convenient with the hose cleaning. Some of them are lighter for people who don't want the bulky machine. But when it comes to vacuum cleaning, I'm leaning on the side of the Kirby. That's the way I am with that one, right? But I've changed my viewpoint over the years because I realized that people want different things out of the cleaners, and some people will sacrifice the deep cleaning for something lighter, and some people are willing to sacrifice having all these multiple things that you can hook up to your Kirby for convenience. So I've revised my thoughts, okay, when it comes to the Kirby being the ultimate machine, but I just have my preference, okay? All right. So Calvin says, I'm doing well. How are you doing? Not able to get on as much as I would like. Life keeps happening, but I'm doing well. That's positive. I respect anyone else's opinion, even when I don't agree, but I expect the same respect. And that's it. That's it, Reed. That's it. I mean, that's the core of it. That's how we can go back and forth and see whether or not this point of view or this worldview, like, okay, I'll give you guys an example. I'll give you guys an example about worldviews, okay? Let's say we give two different people their worldview. I guarantee you can use a chat type of AI to play this out. Give two different people their worldview exactly, because I believe there has to be a balance of sorts with some controls included, right? Just like a household and kids. You can't give kids everything they want, right? But you also can't lock them down either. So there has to be a balance, right? But sometimes both worldviews don't have the balance really played out. Sometimes they're very extreme on both sides. So let's say we went extreme on both sides of worldviews. Extreme, right? Because the balance is where it's at, but people don't want the balance, right? I still think that one is better than the other in my mind, because one has more of a redemption arc built into it. Okay? And the other, how's this? The cost of one is heavier than the cost of the other. How's that? Right? The destruction of one, if it plays out 100%. Let's just say you have, like, let's talk about a country, right? You have if the border's wide open, right? Wide open. Everybody comes in. No ID for nothing, right? No, nobody is stopping what's happening when it comes to kids and access to children. Everything is a go. That's what I'm saying. Everything is a go. Everything is go. Whatever you want, you were pushing for, you got it. You see what I'm saying? You got everything. Everything you want. What does it look like? Right? What does it look like? Everything is free. Fraud is just like, turn the other way. Don't worry about it. Talk back to your parents. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a go, man. Everything is go. You got everything you're petitioning for. Okay? All the police are defunded. Everybody is gone. Forget the police. Yeah, everybody is just walking around with clipboards, right? You got everything. What does it look like? Run it in the chat. Run it in on one of your AIs. But break it down though. Don't be soft about it. You got everything you want. All the ladies stop having families and children and all the other stuff. Career comes first. You know that whole deal. Everything. Everything. Wow. Okay, let me go back up. Let me go to Calvin first. All right. So the only reason why I still use and like Kirby is because they seemingly be the only vacuum that does the bag and bagless machines. Disgusting. Yeah. Hey, do you know I have an idea? And I'm gonna remind me, Calvin, I have an idea. Okay, about that. Okay, so there's Calvin talking about the Kirby. Okay, great. Brienne came back with absolutely perfect example. Seen a movie we watched last night. Absolutely anything. I think it was called. What is it called? What's the movie called? I have a damn idea, man. Oh my gosh, I have an idea, and it's probably mostly for commercial for cleaning ladies. I don't even know if I want to say it out loud. I don't even want to say it out loud, man. Oh, it's called Absolutely Anything. Oh, really? Okay. But I don't think people really do think about it. Did you see Pleasantville? Right? I think Pleasantville is also an idea. Everything is gray, right? And then he bought color. I guess they were trying to say that thing with Footloose, but I think they were trying to be anti-conservative with the Footloose thing. And I thought about Grease. Grease was like that. She's more, refined and conservative, and at the end, she becomes like loosey-goosey tight pants and, she's ready to bang. I never realized the message in that movie until I started thinking about it. But ooh, I like Grease, man. I like Grease. Grease is a cool ass movie. But yeah, man. It's I think the balance is where it's at. I just think you just can't be, you can't be lawless. You can't have, come on, man. You can't have a white, that's not cool. That's gonna ruin a country. So my friend said we need to put a cap on how much money people can make. And I was like, dude, you know what that's gonna do to our society? I know what you mean. What you probably better off doing is put a cap on how much involved the private sector can get when it comes to government officials and how long they can stay in office, right? I think that's a better cap if you want to put a cap. You can't make it into a career. It has to be just like, you do a couple terms and that's it. right? You go in, you do your job, you leave. Then you go back. I can see that, but you're going to create a different society now if you remove the incentive structure of people. But what you can do is limit what people do to interfere with the fair market, because there's a lot of interference going on, and that's why wages are being like this. Okay, so when people come in and you also heap a whole bunch of different regulations, all of a sudden businesses are being squeezed, taxes are rising. Now the business can't hire for a certain amount of money. You're squeezing it, but you still want this. It's like, it doesn't work like that, right? So, so you have this all free, this cheap labor coming in. It's just like when they did with the slaves. It's the same thing. People living back then, right? Because there were over 400,000 free black people during the slave time, right? People don't know that, okay? There were black people that owned slaves back then. It was a business thing. People don't know that, right? A lot of people don't anyway. A lot of black people own slaves. And so it was a business deal. But imagine what that did to the people who were working and looking for work during that time. Imagine the sentiment that they were getting. Imagine when they saw these people working on these places and these factories or whatever, and they can't get hired because this guy bought some labor that he paid for, and now that guy is going to have children, and they're going to keep. Imagine what the society was going on right then and there. People don't even think about it from that point of view. Okay? So I'm like, whoa, I can see the resentment building up because you see it right now, right? People are getting undercut in their wages. People are getting undercut in their bids. Dude, you're creating a problem. And now when the problem is being solved, you're mad at the solution that's solving. It's like, no, you created a problem. So obviously, you can imagine a lot of people don't like my point of view on that. But if I'm wrong, I want someone to tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that people around that time would not have been resentful. Okay? Even if the people were purple, if the people were blue, if it was fish, the fish people, Aquaman's people, whatever, right? If they were being used and the people were not able to get those jobs because this guy bought somebody that now they can have kids and they can work at his company forever. Now they can't find jobs. Come on, man. Don't tell me you don't see that point of view. Anyway, that guy's like, what the hell is he saying? Like, just fix the vacuum, dude. No, I got a point of view. I share it on my platform. That's how I talk. Let me see. So he had the power to do anything. He granted people their dreams, ended world hunger, reversed global warming, right? Turned on the TV and the news, and we're talking about obese, literally no open space left of all the homes. The next ice age is, oh wow. Hey, Chrisma 8139. I'm glad you agree. Thank you. I'm trying to be as grounded as I can in my understanding and not have. I may express emotion, but I don't want my emotion to be driving my ship. Okay? I don't want my emotions to be the driver. Because if emotions drive, it'll drive me over the cliff. And then afterwards, I'm like, man, maybe we should have turned. Then my logic kicks in afterwards. Maybe we should have. Oh, man, it reminds me of Adam and Eve, man. It's so funny. Adam and Eve is a bug. If you really think about an Adam and Eve story, it's funny as hell, man. Adam and Eve story is something else. Because he went to Eve. It's like, let me talk to you about this. He appealed to her emotions. That's what he did. He appealed to her emotions. And then she gave it to, once she got sold, then she gave it to Adam. That's how shit happens. So your emotions take over, and then you think you're in trouble. and then he wimped out. And he was like, "Hey man, did you eat the treat? Did you eat the fruit of the tree?" "Nah, man, it was her." And then he went to her, and then he's like, "Hey, what'd you do?" He was like, "No, it wasn't me. It was a serpent." I just see like a comedy. That's why. I mean, it's a serious book, but I see it like comedy, like the way we are today. This is how kids are. Weren't they kids? Think about it. They were like brand spanking new, right? They would just like sprout out, boom, right? And in the story, however you want to see it. And then, but here's the funny part of the story. Here's the funny part of the story. The serpent now didn't say nothing. Holy cow. Who did the serpent blame? Nobody. And I'm not saying the serpent is the good guy in the story or nothing like that. I'm just saying serpent just took the hit. Like, well, you're gonna be on the ground and her heel and all this other stuff. And you didn't hear no word out of the serpent. I was like, wow, that's interesting. I've never heard it from that point of view. You see what I'm saying? It's like, wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. I would love to hear more about that. I haven't thought that through yet, but I'm just bringing it up as a thought, But no, the serpent's not like the good guy of the story. It's just that I just never heard it. Like he blamed her, she blamed the serpent, and it's like, all right, all you guys are in trouble. It's like kids. You know what? All you are in trouble. Okay, all you guys are in trouble. And nope, you know what? Get out. Oh man, get out. You guys get out of here. Oh shoot. All right. Yeah, it is. It is because I find if I get too heavy, I lightly state the facts. Thank you, Chris. The serpent is probably the same one that tracked in the dirt, ate the last snack, and didn't walk the dog. See, Brad, that's why I appreciate you, right? Because that's it. There's some people who would get very mad at you making light of it like that, but if you can open minds by just not, come on, guys. Okay, we know we all trip. We know we all poke fun at each other. That we're all overreact. Why are we acting as if you're the, nobody else makes mistake? Everyone else makes a mistake, but I don't. Everyone else is perfect. Is not perfect, but I'm perfect. I mean, come on, cut it out already. What's up? Heyo. I got to get better at names, man. But I'm thinking I'm pronouncing that name right. I'm glad you're back, though, bro. Glad you're back. I'm glad you're back. And then I'm back at the story now. I didn't go nowhere yet. And then at the end of the chapter, that's probably my favorite chapter in the whole book. I swear, it's my favorite chapter. Because, okay, so in the beginning of the chapter, you just pose a question, right? Did he say that you can't eat of the tree and all that stuff? And he's like, well, no, you said we can eat of the tree, but you can't eat of that one. And he says, because we'll surely die. And he's like, no, you're not gonna die. You're not gonna die, I mean, you know what it is. You know what it is? That he just don't want you to know like the knowledge of good and evil or anything. He don't want you to know nothing, because you know that if you know something, you're gonna be just like them. I think that's what it is. So he put it to, like again, he appealed to her. He's appealing to the emotion, right? So she's like, yeah, right. So the way it's said is like she sees that the tree is good for food or whatever. But at the end of the chapter, guess what they said? Man, look, we better put a guard at this thing, kick them out the garden, because they become like us, knowing good and evil. And if they eat of the tree of life, they're gonna live forever. So we better guard this thing. I'm like, wait a second, time out. Are you telling me that he was telling the truth all along? What the hell? Is that the truth? Like, if you see that? That's a part of the story I never heard it that way before. So I'm like, so there's more to this thing. Why? Well, we need to dig into that, right? We need to we need to dig into that part of the story. There's something to that, man. In other words, I think there are deeper meanings that we can pull out of it, rather than just, blame the woman because she ate the fruit type of thing. That's so surface level, Hold on. Hey. I'm good. What's happening? Oh, okay. No, everything's good. Just talking to the crew. Yeah, I had to stop, and we're starting back again. It was getting a little bit crowded in here. Yeah. All right. Mom. All right. Cool. Bye. Bayo from. No, from NZ. Doesn't want share. Probably was from Turkey. Yeah. No, man, I'm not saying nothing, but personally wouldn't tolerate that kind of disrespect. That's to me. Memory failed me again. But yo. Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You were born with a bookie. I love that saying there, Brienne. I love that saying. Come on. So let's circle back to the people that, yeah, you should be this, and you should be offended by this, and you should be this. It's like, listen, there's so much more about these things that we don't understand. We don't know shite. Okay? We don't. Don't act like you do. All I'm doing is I'm pondering. And the moment we start, making it where people that at least say, wait a second, time out. Did we test that? You know what I mean? Like, if you're now shunning the people, you're like, no, you can't say it. Come on, man, dude. They do the same thing in the church. If they say, well, no, it just says so. So don't ask me nothing. Just that. Then you're gonna make people ask more questions and say, okay, why? You answer the question. Don't just shut the person down, because now you're gonna put them in another position. They did the same thing when people were saying, I don't know, maybe that's not a good idea for us to be, chopping off. Do we know if that's gonna really help? Do we know if was that tested? And you're gonna just come on, man. We can ponder. We can talk. Can we talk? Can we just at least talk, man? Right? Can we talk? Come on. Let's not be silly. Let's not be silly, man. Like, we're so pure that our way of seeing this thing is perfect. And the way you're seeing it is imperfect. Come on. Nah, that's not the case. And we know that's not the case. We know that's not the case. Right? Your favorite president is perfect, but the other president is not. Really? Come on. Your entertainer is perfect until they start talking. Hey, man, nothing's worth entertainer. Look, that's why, Brianne, I appreciate you hanging with me, because you know all the stupid stuff that I might say, or even if it's insightful that you think might say, but I'm not holding it, right? So you got the package. This is who I am. This is me, right? So that's it. So but imagine if I was prim and proper, and I made sure that we give you that, and I gave you that sound, and man, everything is fantastic. All right, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you tune in tomorrow, that kind of thing. And then you heard me say something. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe Wayne. How? No. So I don't need to have that on me. This is who I am. This is me. I'm gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk. I might say some things off the cuff, but I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm not, right? So, but when we look at these celebrities like that, we expect them to be like the characters we fell in love with, or we expect them to be wise, and then they open their mouth, and it's like, oh my God, what the hell are you saying? Dude, you shouldn't say nothing. You should just act. So actually, what we're saying is that we want to continue to be deceived. I don't want to know the true person. Just keep me. What's that? What's the saying? Oh my gosh! When you go to the movies, you Oh my God! You Oh my gosh! A temporary of disbelief, suspension, a temporary suspension of disbelief. When you go to the movies, we exercise in a voluntary, temporary suspension of disbelief. Okay, so now when we're in the movie theater, we're believing that they can fly. We're believing that, a person can get shot 6 times and jump in a car and stop for coffee and and just use some crazy glue and patch it up and still we're believing all of these things. We believe in dragons, in the movies. And then what that does to us, though, is that we start to idolize these people, and then they start talking for real. Yeah. Yeah. She said, that's what the serpent said. No word. Brianne is crazy. So Brianne says, you're telling me exactly what I should be offended. Yeah. What should I be offended about? It tells me exactly what I need to know. That's positive. Tell me what... You know what I'm going to do next time? I'm just going to ask people, are you offended? Were you offended? Because if you think you have the rights to my offense, which you don't, but if you think you do, tell me how offended you are and why. Tell me how offended you are and why. And how long do you think I should hold on to this offense? And when do you think it's okay for me to grow past being offended by such things? How long do you think I should, like forever? Forever? I heard something, and I'm gonna bring it back again, and I'm almost done. I'm gonna bring it back again to this slave thing. I only say stuff like this because I'll be honest with you, it's in our environment, and it's always being bashed over our heads. So it is what it is. Okay. And some people don't like to tune into that. But listen to this carefully. I heard somebody say something. Because it's being used it's being used like a like a get out of jail card thing. It's being used by a lot of people. And it's like, come on, man, you're manipulating people. Cut it out. Right? You're manipulating people. But anyway, let me tell you what this guy said. And I was like, oh shit, man, I didn't think about that. So the guy said, I've heard it another way. I just didn't hear it the way he said it. The guy said, so you want to blame white people for slavery, right? So no more, you can't blame the people today about all that stuff. Someone's pulling up with like music. Boom, 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 boom. He said, but what about the Africans that sold the white folk? That sold the people? Like, you have no smoke for them, right? Like, you have no smoke for them. So how about their descendants? You have no smoke for them either. I was like, yeah. If someone was playing was like my friend, right, acting like my friend, let's say, and they sold me into robbing a bank, or they sold me into something that got me trapped or enslaved, or trafficked or whatever. They did that to me. I'll be pissed at that person, man. You got me into this, and now this guy is taking me across the pond. Think about it for real, like in real life. Like, your friend got you in trouble that you thought was your friend or your neighbor, and your neighbor let some robbers in to take your stuff. I'll be pissed at my neighbor, man. I'm like, yo, bro, why'd you do that to me? Think about it. So come on, man. Let's stop this already. I hate this music. Yeah, it's a young girl. She goes to the gym. Let's stop this already. But the guy said, he said, you have the smoke? Where's all the smoke for your homies that sold you? I was like, oh, dude. Interesting, man. Interesting. Oh my God. I just don't want to be weak, guys. I don't want anyone constantly trying to get me to be a victim. I want to fight for what's mine. I want to be, and then number one, and if anyone black listening to my show right now, think about it for a second, because some people will look at you and they're like, man, you this. Okay, let's say you do assume that other races are your opponent, right, in America. Let's say you assume that. Let's just assume it for a second. Like that's your opponent. It's me against them. All right. If it was a game and you were playing a game, how would you win that game? How would you win the game? Or if you were the coach of a team that was trying to play a game, how would you win the game? Would you spend your entire being waking up every day talking about when you were beaten 50 games ago? Would you keep talking like, I bet you they got better equipment? I bet you that they're looking at me funny. They called me a name. They're at the yard line if it's football. We just had the Super Bowl, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna kick you. I'm gonna kick you, man. Your mother. They do that, right, in football, and they put the yard line or whatever. Okay, so they're calling me names. Would you spend all of your being and all of your time focused on that, while the other team is training running plays, learning the game, doing push-ups, practicing, and your team is constantly, yeah, man, they beat us last time and they had better shoes and the rules were different and they didn't even let us play the game. All day, every day. No training, no discipline, no focus. Would you be winning that game? Constantly, oh, I bet the referee is probably going to call it play for them. All day, every day, constantly. All your coaches, all the owners of your team, all the parents, everybody on your team, that's all they're doing all day, every day. Every instance is talking about that instead of learning the game and play. That's all I'm saying. Being offended every second, or would you be playing the game, learn the game, if they're your opponent, if in your mind? Now, I don't think it's an opponent thing. I think we're all Americans, and we're all Americans, man. And you want America to succeed. That's what I think, because we all do business together. That's how I see it. All right. Brianne knows how I think. She knows I get crazy sometimes, but it's from a good place. Why does a self-worth seem to depend so greatly on my opinion being the same as yours? Can I pin that to the top? Holy cow. Can I pin it to the top of the chat? Can I pin it to the top of the chat? You know, people don't like talk about this stuff. You know why? Because they don't want to offend people. And they don't want to seem like they're racist and all this stuff. And listen, man, screw that. Screw all that shit, man. We're tribal people. Right? How do you call it when one tribe think they're better than another tribe? You're a tribalist? Because isn't that before people used to put race in front of everything? Wasn't it like tribes? Right? Wasn't it tribes? Our feathers were better than yours, and our tattoos were better than yours, and our shields were better than yours. Oh man, these salespeople. I can always tell when they're coming. Right? We were tribal, right? Before the race thing became a thing, it was tribes, right? So what would you call people that was prejudiced with tribes back then? You would call them tribalists? I don't know. There was their name, right? What didn't, even in the Bible, right? They didn't like the Amorites and the Hittites and the Jebusites and all this stuff. They didn't like those people, right? This is old, man. Come on. This is human nature, right? Right? With tribalists. So our tribe is America. That's our tribe, right? So we're fighting in our tribe. Come on, man. Enough of this nonsense. Oh, this needs to change. Look at this. This thing is all. This needs to change. We need to just put a new one on here. Who's this up here? Carlos. David. What's happening? Tribalism. Yeah, we still have tribalism. Great message. Yeah, you do better, you get better. That's it. But people don't want that, man. They think that what you just said there is, Sergio, is they think that is, you don't understand. Listen, man, there's nowhere, any time in the world that hasn't been a true statement. Okay? It is a gamble because you're in a market. In every country is a market. Every single country is a market. Every country is a market, right? So you have players in the market, right? Back then, right? In India, in China, every country that had anything to do with somebody ruling, owning, buying, selling is a market. And in that market, you're going to have players. Remember back in, you don't remember, the stories in the movies and stuff where people were selling snake oil. There was snake oil salesmen back then. poor people were looking at the stage and the guy. You ever seen the movies and they're looking like this, and he's like, "Come on, everybody! I'll tell you." And then he have some big strong guy that with him that travels with him, right? And he says, "Hey, you young man, why don't you come over here and you drink some of this, right?" So the guy comes and he drinks it, right? And first he's weak, right? He said, "Why don't you try and see if you can, this guy?" And he does his little thing, and then he says, "No, drink this," and he drinks it, and then, all right, this is gonna be good. And then the big guy comes, all right, tries it, and then he slams the big guy, and then they didn't know that they all work together, right? And now he sells his fake tonic to the crowd, and those guys existed everywhere. There was always an opportunity for somebody to try to scam somebody. That was a thing, right? People were always selling their bodies. That was a thing. Everything that we're experiencing now, we just have better tools now. But the human nature part has always been the first. I'm back to that book again. Deception. And I don't even think it was deception. It was more like coercion. Guys, how's it going?
Hi, how are you?
You know what? I'm fantastic. I'm gonna ask you a question before you go any further, okay?
Oh.
What do you guys selling?
He's online.
Yeah, and they'll hear everything from us.
Yeah, but I'm asking what you're selling though.
Okay, yeah, we're from T-Mobile. T-Mobile for business.
No, guys.
Can we pause that? No.
No, you can't. No, I won't be giving T-Mobile any business though. But I do appreciate you guys. You guys are sharp though. Damn.
Thank you.
She's beautiful. You're handsome. You guys are sharp.
I appreciate.
Your energy is great.
I need to give like.
No,
to
no. You can't even give me a pitch. You know why? I bought something from you guys.
Really?
And I tried to return it the 15 days grace that you guys gave me. And you guys put me through the ringer.
He's in that.
I'm not gonna, no, I don't want your voice to get on here. I'm definitely not gonna get your picture on here, but just know that's what happened. And because of that service, man, I'm like, I was so let down. And she was a cute young lady that came in too. And I was like, man, I'm gonna give her my business.
How long that was?
Like a couple months ago, bro.
Really?
They're still trying to send me a bill. They put me through like I had to go to Matthews to, not good.
Okay.
So
we're so sorry to listen to that actually. we don't do that and we don't work like that.
Of course, man.
Yeah.
That's a good close, bro.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. All right.
Your life.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Thanks. That was the truth, though. That was the truth. T-Mobile, they lost my business for the rest of my life. Well, no, that's not even the truth. Let me not say that. They lost my business. We still have like personal stuff, but the business side, they lost me, and they will never get it back. All right, they'll never get it back. I was very, what's that word? I like salespeople, and I want salespeople to do well, but they did not support the sales team. The corporate screwed me up and put me through a whole ringer. So those. And they were actually one. I don't know where he's from. He was a Hispanic guy. She's a black girl, and working together. They look sharp. They smell good. I can still smell the cologne in here. But unfortunately, when your support team screw you over, it leaves a bad taste in the mouth, And that's the deal. And guess what? That lies in right with what we were saying. People, that's been going on forever. That is not new. That's not new. It's just that I wasn't able to talk to a group of people across the world, in Turkey, in places like that. And Turkey, big up to you, Turkey. And when I say America, listen, Turkey, I want you to be proud of Turkey, bro. Okay? I want England to be proud of England, right? I want you to, if you're from Germany, be proud to be German, right? I'm here. You can't. You can't get mad at what are the two guys that had Super Bowls? The Seahawks and the Patriots. And the guys on the Seahawks, they're proud to be part of the Seahawks. Man, we're the Seahawks. We're the best. And the Patriots. Man, we're the best. We're Patriots. It's okay. That's your team. You know what I'm saying? If you live in Virginia, Virginia is the best. Great. You know, you live in North Carolina, North Carolina is the best. Nothing wrong with that. You know, so if you're in Turkey, man, don't feel like I'm, you know, not giving love to you guys. It's just that I'm in America. So, guys, I am going to be wrapped up right now, but I just took this Kirby apart. And so what I'm going to end up doing, but we have good conversations, man. This is what I do. This is my banter day. I just felt like bantering with you guys because these people had ticked me off with this offended thing, and they couldn't get it out of my brain. And this is my therapy. And Brianne is nice enough to entertain me with this stuff too. Tribalism, dumbass. Okay. Back then, the norm, snake oil. That's right, Sergio. T-Mobile, poor kids. That never gonna happen in the store again. Greetings from Germany. Yeah, man. Germany's there, man. Big up to Germany, man. Yeah, those guys. Nah. Yeah, that was it. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a bad taste. Brianne, I think you were here during my experience with that stuff. Bad taste in my mouth. But circle back. You honestly can't even blame certain people when they've had experiences with individuals and it left them with a bad taste in their mouth. So what does that mean? Does that make me prejudiced to T-Mobile? Right? What do you call that? Is there a name for that? I'm sure they'll give it a name. They can't call me racist because there's a black girl here, right? It was that I had a bad experience. And they could probably win me over with time, right? But they got to break through this shield because I got a shield now. Okay? I got a shield now. And so let's say you saw someone like me and you did business with me, right? Someone that looked like me, let's say close to me. He has the same everything. And he didn't do you right. I'm going to try to win you over because I want you to do business with me. But I may not even know that you had that experience. You might walk into my shop and you're just like, you know, you might be apprehensive, right? Because the last experience had. Now, if you're the kind of person that can wash things off, right, you're good. Okay? But if you're not, you may be the kind of person that, man, when someone hurt you or they dug you, you're gonna feel it and you're gonna be like, all right, next time, I'm gonna think twice. That's just natural human instincts. So, okay, I'm done. That whole Bad Bunny thing. I'm like, people are getting. I said, look. This is how I look at it. I don't know what the corporate people had in mind. I don't know what the other agenda they had in mind. But I'm saying for you and me, if we're talking, right? This person came into the scene with a very weird, somewhat anti-American type of slant. Okay? This is an American game. You better wow these Americans. You have a shot now to win them over. Okay? Because you came off like you're an anti-American, right? I would have listened to Mark Anthony in Spanish. Because he has, I like his flow. You know, I like his flow. I like Mark Anthony. I like Pitbull, right? But this dude, and then I heard some of the lyrics. I said, his job now was not to just expect us to roll over. Your job is to sell me, bro, because you know that you were sitting at the game and not standing for the national anthem. And Americans are very proud of that stuff. And you know that you were talking about, well, I'm not going to play stuff in America. So now you're going to go and you tell us on Saturday Night Live that that you better learn Spanish in 6 months. It's like, what? What are you talking? So I'm like, so with all of these things, all these layers of stuff that you add coming into the show, and you didn't blow us away, bro, who are you gonna blame? So if I'm walking up to a customer, let's say it's an older white lady. I don't know if this lady had a bad experience with a black person or not. But guess what? I'm not gonna walk up to her like. I'm not gonna walk up to her, number one, like I'm shady. So I'm gonna dress sharp. Okay? I'm gonna have a smile on my face. I'm gonna be very patient with her because most likely, I don't know, she may not have dealt with that. You understand? And then enthusiasm is contagious. And it's a 50-50 chance I may be able to do business and I may not. I don't know. But guess what? I'm not going to be walking in there with this some preconceived notion about racism. I am going to walk in there on being aware, though, that this is a society we live in, and they inundate people with this stuff on TV. So I'm going to be sharp about it. Okay. And that's how I see things. Okay. So these people can possibly win me over, right? But they would have had to work even harder because I had a bad experience. Okay. And that's just how it is. And they're lucky I even told them that, because I could have just rejected them and not say nothing. And they would never know why they even lost this opportunity. Now, if he want the business, he may want to try again, knowing now that I had a bad experience, and just not try to sell me nothing, just want to talk to me. And if he just talked to me, he might be able to break me down, let's say, find out what's going on, and then maybe later on bring the pitch in. But you walk in with your book and you're trying to sell me up front, you already told you I'm not interested, I'm just going to like block you out. Those are the things I had to learn going through, right? And I try to pass it on to my kids, instead of them expecting people to just roll over and open the door just because, you know? Anyway, that's it, guys. I'm done. I ranted for like 10 hours today. Yeah, they aren't willing to put in the effort. Blame Jay-Z and Rock Nation. Hey, man, Sergio, it's all right, man. I'm glad for coming. Blame Jay-Z and Rock Nation. It's all about the paycheck to them, not the customer satisfaction. Yeah, and probably the same thing with the Jay-Z Rock Nation. And who knows? They may have other agendas behind the thing, but it's all about the people thinking. It's like, listen, you guys can have your stuff. We need to be centered with the way we see the world. Don't get caught up and emotional and stupid about this stuff. Right? Even if they have an agenda, even if they have ulterior motives, we need to like be better at, let's see what's really going on. Like, how do I manage myself through this? Because that stuff is always going to go on. Pharaohs were here. You know, Roman emperors were here. They were always doing this stuff. This was always going on, man. Always, always, always. All through time. Every single country had it. The Ottoman Empire had it. France had it. Britain had it. They all had this stuff going on. It is what it is. Okay? I think we just have an opportunity now to center ourselves and not just be peasants, you know, like that. And we got to be aware. That's all. Okay, guys, peace. We'll be back. Maybe next time I'll fix a machine and I'll do less of the stuff. But so I like these things. And I might be wrong too. Guess what? I might be totally wrong with everything I said today. But I'm totally open for people like giving me better information. Brianne, you know the deal. Much love from above. I'll catch you later. You guys stay cool.